There are over 240 men, women, children, babies, and old people underground in captivity in Gaza. Here's a video from one of the moms who every day prays for the return of her family. Check it out. Well, it's been a month. 240 odd hostages from 30 something countries around the world are sitting in a hole in the ground somewhere in Gaza. The Israeli army found one of the hostages this morning, apparently murdered, dumped outside the Shifa hospital. She was a lady in her 50s that had cancer, and it looks like she was executed. We don't have any details other than the fact that one less hostage and negotiations are going on. Yesterday, there was a big march in Washington, and I want to show everybody a speech by one of the mothers. It tells the story of what they're going through. This is from Washington, D.C. Check this out.
My name is Rachel, and I am the mother of Hirsch Goldberg Poland, a wounded civilian American Israeli kidnapped from the music festival on October 7th. Right now, how we are living is hard to describe to you. We hostage families have lived the last 39 days in slow motion torment. For 38 nights, none of us have slept the real sleep of the before. We all have third-degree burns on our souls. Our hearts are bruised and seeping with misery. But the real soul's suffering are those of the hostages. And they want to ask everyone in the world, all the screamers, the indifferent, the experts, the academics, the knowledgeable, the passives, the perfectly outraged, the righteous, the indignant, the haters, the leaders, the lovers, the every single one of us. Why? Why is the world accepting that 240 human beings from almost 30 countries have been stolen and buried alive? These children of God range in age from 9 months to 87 years. They are Christians, Muslims, Jews, Buddhists, and Hindu. Why are they being left underground in the dirt? Abigail Moore Idan is 3 years old. She watched her parents get murdered in front of her and was then kidnapped. And she would like me to ask the world, why are you letting her stay in the dark, in her trauma, buried in the earth's crust? And Joshua Molel, who is a Tanzanian African graduate student studying agribusiness, would like for me to ask you why somehow his life actually doesn't matter. The world must prepare what we will say to them. There was a Christian German who hid Jews during the Holocaust, and he was asked why he did such a heroic and dangerous act. His answer was simple. At least I will know when I die and stand before God, he will not ask me what he asked Cain in the Bible. Where were you when your brother's blood cried out from the ground? What the world needs to start thinking about today is, what will your excuse be?
Wow. Yesterday on the mall, It was the largest gathering of Jews in one place in the history of the United States of America. Between the people that were there and the people that watched it live streamed across the country, they're estimating somewhere around 450 to 500,000 people came out, including members of the House, members of the Senate on both sides. Two very conspicuous absences, Will Johnson: the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, could not appear for 5 minutes to say, give us back the hostages, stop the torture, stop violating every rule of normal behavior from the Geneva Conventions on down. It took this mother to explain what was going on, and yet nothing from the administration. Nobody showed up.
Nothing.
Amazing. Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. But you had Chuck Schumer there. You had Hakeem there. And both of them screaming, saying, we're going to stand with Israel. We're going to make sure Israel get all the support that they need. And what does Chuck Schumer do? Not even hours, 4 hours later, if that? What did he do? He rejected Israel.
Well, because it didn't have the Ukraine money in it, as if Ukraine has something to do with Israel.
Exactly. It has nothing to do with it. It's like they can't chew gum and walk at the same time, Barry. That's what it really comes down to. And I've said this multiple times, Barry, and I don't have any proof of this, but this is just my personal belief. I'm gonna make sure I'm being very clear. This is my personal opinion. I believe that all of these high-profile Democrats, they all have bank accounts connected to Ukraine. So every time we send untraceable money to Ukraine, they get deposits. That's just my personal opinion, because why else would they do it? And the reason why I came up with that, Barry, is because of Joe Biden with all these billions of dollars that he's been receiving in the past dealing with other countries. It's the perfect racket. And if all of them are behind it, none of them will want to talk about it.
Well, that's a whole other story. But the truth is, Ukraine has nothing to do with Israel. Zero.
Nothing.
It's amazing that every member of the House, every member of the Senate, every member of the administration can come out and say, Russia is wrong. Russia needs to get out of the Ukraine. It was horrible what they're doing every day to the Ukrainian people. They're blowing up hospitals.
Yeah.
They can't say it to Hamas as a unified.
Again, Barry, I truly believe that they have bank accounts. What other explanation would it be? I mean, we got to keep pushing money into Ukraine. We got to keep pushing. Well, where's the money going? We can't tell you where the money's going. We just need to keep helping them because Putin bad. Well, don't you think Hamas is bad? If you had to put the two together, which one is worse, Putin or Hamas? I mean, really, let's be realistic.
It's not even close.
It's not even close. It's not even close. We know that Hamas is 100 times worse. Putin is a bad guy. I'm not, no one on the right likes what Putin is doing, at least the ones that I know. No one is like what Putin was doing. But what Hamas is doing is absolutely barbaric. They're animals. They're vermins.
Oh, yeah. And not one condemnation from the squad. They're all justified, mass murder, torture, rape, beheading, horrible torture. Unbelievable. In my lifetime, I never thought us, a civilized country, the United States, would have its elected representatives justifying the barbarism. It's beyond words.